Good afternoon. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tim Tompkins. Joining me today, I'm so excited about this, ABA All-Star point guard Maurice Mickens.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good, man. So we are a little bit about halfway through the season at this point.
Yes, sir.
Compared to other seasons with the Jacksonville Giants, you've obviously been with the team for 4 years. What's the season? What are your feelings on the season so far?
It's shaping up to be a good one. Very excited to get to the end. Very anxious. Undefeated in the month of January was one of our goals. Try to run them off again in February, and do the same in March and April. So the December games was tuning up. Now we shaping, molding to get another championship. So it's all good right now. It's fun. That's the fun part.
So the Giants just came off a 133 to 122 victory over South Florida Gold.
Yes.
Number 2 ranked ABA team right now. The Giants, the new power rankings come out today. A little bit lower in the power rankings than you want, but we climbed 5 spots last week, having beat the number 2 team twice. How do you feel going into the postseason?
Man, like I was just telling you, mentally, let me back up a little bit. Adding key guys like Keith McDougal and Aaron Bourne and Cedric McGowan and having veterans like Rob, those guys really help us. Like, we had our core, but they help us. And going down to South Florida, we definitely had to be mentally focused. And, those guys, we put in the work last week, and we went and got it done. We knew what we had to do. We knew the task at hand, and we went and got it done as a group. So it wasn't a surprise to us. They was the number 2 team in the nation, but, we the Giants. So, those numbers don't mean anything to us,
So going to the postseason, it looks like you're most likely going to be matched up at some point with the DMV Warriors, number 1 ranked team. How do you feel about facing them? Is there any point in which, as a Jacksonville Giant, as talented as you are on the court, that you go into a game and you think, I'm not really matched up well against the opponent?
Like I said, in the month of December 3rd, we getting all the kinks out. No excuses. They beat us. They beat us on our own floor. And DMV is a very exciting team, up and coming. We faced them last year. They beat us when we beat them once. So it's no nervousness. We're just going to be focused. We're going to be ready. It's nothing to talk about. I'm not much of a talker when it comes to that. Like, understand DMV is like, they say it's a rival. You know what I mean? But we're going to be ready. And us losing in front of our crowd, like, that's embarrassing. And we take it to heart. But we know what we got to do. We know the task at hand. So we're going to be ready.
So the first time that I met Maurice was coming back from a parade a couple of months ago. I was sitting back there, and I overheard you talking to the guys, and you were talking about last season and the one loss you had last season. And you remembered it. You remembered the team. You were like, it's not going to happen this year. And that kind of struck me in that moment as you being a player that is much more competitive maybe than you let on. For example, when I'm watching you on the court, you don't really seem like you're getting in the players' heads on the opposing team vocally.
Right.
Your play lets you do it. So how do you keep that competitive edge year after year with the Giants, 4th season now?
With my teammates on the court, in that arena, is different because we had already planned the whole week. Like, that's our performance, that's our stage. We prepare so much that I don't have to say much. Like, they know what I require. I know what they require. So it's really not a go do this or, you have to do this. No, we already talked about that. We came to a conclusion of what we was going to do, and we try to execute it. If we got to talk about it on the court, then we're in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? So it comes with the preparation during that week. Like me, coach, like we get it together that week and we try to execute it that week. And during practice, we instill it and we perform on the court. So preparation is key for us, So a lot of people, you know, they rah, they talk about it on the court, but we definitely prepare for it during the week. You know, and the task at hand is very important. So we go out and we instill it. So
yeah, what's it? 9 straight victories, if I remember correctly,
yes,
now
sir.
for the Giants. That's impressive. We're gonna get back to the Giants here in a minute, but I want to talk a little bit about you as a basketball player, as a baller. At what point did you realize that you wanted to play, or not that you realized that you wanted to play professional basketball, but did you realize that it was a reality for you?
Just playing back home in Memphis, Tennessee. Like, you got a whole bunch of guys that has played in the NBA, and when they start inviting you to the gym, and you become a regular at a young age, at 17, playing with those guys, like, and you head to head with those guys, and you holding your own. Like, that's when it became a reality to me, because I put the work in. I understood what it took. I see people do it around my city, so I just took the pro approach to it. Throughout college, high school, whatever it was I was playing, like, I took that approach. And I can sit here and say at the age of 5 I wanted to play basketball, but that's not realistic because I ain't had a skill set, I ain't have nothing yet. But when I developed, you know, that's when I realized at the age of like 17 that I knew I was going to do something.
What part of your game comes the easiest to you?
Easy, just getting my team involved, you know, and keeping them happy. You know, that's the easiest part. The hard part is, you know, trying to get your numbers and do the same, you know. Keep them happy and get your numbers at the same time.
It's a balance, right?
Right, definitely a balance.
So being a point guard is arguably the most important job on the court. You know, the quarterback, you run the offense, you set the tone. How do you find a way to get the ball in the hand of the hot player on the team, even when defenses are really honing in on that one player? And do you ever say, you know what, they're really honing in on him, so I'm gonna get it to you know, somebody else, for this corner 3 that somebody's sagging off of? Or...
I just lose Ed Horton, for example. He get hot a lot, you know, and they start focusing on him. And that's why I was telling you, like, adding those guys like Keith and Aaron and Cedric, like, they can't just focus on one guy on our team. Anybody can get hot. But how do I get them the ball? There's certain plays. I know where Ed want the ball at. Like, if we call Legends, he want to come off the down screen and shoot it. You know, so we'll try to get plays executed, or just give them the ball and just let him run the high ball screen. And if he high, he gonna make shots. So it's just, you know, go back to preparation. Like, it's nowhere around it. Like, if a man is hot, like Coach said all the time, if they hot, you know, we're going to feed him. I don't care if it's Bruce. We're going to feed Bruce till he run dry.
I mean, he's been hitting threes. If you guys haven't seen it, you got to go back. The last couple of games that Bruce has played where he is hitting threes, it's impressive.
Bruce has the best percentage on the team.
It's hilarious. He really does. It is the craziest thing to see. You know, a 7-footer out there the size of Bruce, because he's a big dude out there nailing those threes, man.
Yeah. He'll tell you he the best three-point shooter on the team.
Right. I
Bruce.
mean, he might be, but as long as you don't factor in shot attempts,
right?
You know, absolutely.
Right.
As far as, you know, your shot this year, how are you feeling about it? I mean, your scoring's dipped a little bit. Last year you were averaging about 26. This year you're a little over 17. Obviously, that's a lot of that has to do with it's such a deep team that, frankly, you guys are blowing people out the water. You don't have to play those same minutes.
Yeah, like those numbers don't mean anything to me. As long as I get another ring, like, don't mean anything. Like I said, it was sometimes it was coach's decision whether I played or not. Like, we played a couple teams that wasn't up to par, so kind of set a little bit, which was fine. You know, my guys got to get involved and, you know, get their legs up under them, so that's fine.
You want to be healthy going into the postseason anyway, right?
Definitely, you know. And I feel like if I play 40 minutes, if I play 10, if we win, man, I'm happy. Like, that's what it's about with me. All the accolades, you know, I'm shy when it comes to that, you know. But when we win, I'll be happy, you know. If we lose, I'll be highly upset.
And you'll remember it for a year.
I still remember all my losses.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you remember the losses better than the victories?
Definitely. Yeah. Attention to detail. Free throws down the stretch against DMV. Us not having our boost, Bernard Nugent. You know, just small things. Small things really made us lose. Down in Orlando, attention to detail. Helping when you're not supposed to help. You know, getting wide open shots. Turnovers down the stretch. You know, I remember play by play. You know, so them wins, I forget about them because we won. You know, I'm happy. But those losses, they stick here because you're gonna have to do it again. Have to play them again. So you don't want to make the same mistake twice. So that's why it stick with me.
So how do you treat that going into a game? You're playing the same opponent again that you've lost either this season or the season before. How does that factor into your preparation in comparison to how you mentally prepare to play an opponent that you're used to beating every single time?
But the teams that we beat all the time, we prepared. Extremely focused. Like the games that we lose, we play around taking teams for granted, and we lose it. You know, with those games that we're supposed to win, like, we're going to win them. You know, like there's no way around it, you know. So the preparation for those games are, you know, just staying focused and completing the task. That's it. You know, there's no way around that one either. Like, you can't go left or right. You got to go straight to it. Like, there's no way around it.
Maurice, you were talking about earlier about the role of a point guard and making sure that you're getting the players the ball where they want the ball. The Giants just added 3 new players, all of which are astounding basketball players from a point guard perspective, from your perspective. How difficult is it to integrate players, and especially players of that caliber, who are going to be getting sizable minutes in the game halfway through the season, and how do you do it? How do you approach that?
I guess we figure out what page they on. If they on the same page and it's about winning, then like we're gonna have a good relationship, and we're gonna be able to teach the plays, and they catch on real quick. You know, if they treat it, you know, as a pro should treat it, my teammates that's still there and the guys that's getting added, you know, we'll be fine. Like, it's no problem. It's like a brotherhood. Like, we're going to teach you the assignment, and we expect you to execute it. Like, this ain't elementary, this ain't high school, this ain't college. It's the pro level. And once you get done with the training and we put you out there, then you'll be fine. Like, those guys like Keith and Aaron, them, like, they IQ. You know, they pick up real well. They understand what we're trying to do. They understand the system. So it was pretty easy. You know, it was no strain at all with those guys. So.
And Keith is really good. So's Aaron,
yeah,
for that matter, too. They're both fantastic basketball players. What's a bad shot for you?
A bad shot?
Yeah.
Early in the shot clock, nobody else touch it. I just come down and shoot it. Dumbest shot I ever take in my life. I take them every 8 games.
Does the coach give you a hard time when you do that?
When I make them, he don't say nothing. Usually I know when I take that shot, I'm going to make it. I make sure I make it. So he won't say nothing to me. That's just being, I guess, being a human, you know, making mistakes. You know, some of those shots are not needed, you know. I know that. But I still take them, you know.
Well, you got to heat check every once in a while.
Right.
I feel like 3 or 4 games ago, you took like the epitome of a heat check shot. I can't remember. I can't remember if I was watching it on TV or if I was there in person for it, if it was here in Jacksonville. It went in, but I saw that shot and I was like, that That was a heat check right there.
Yeah, I got pretty much free reign. I can do pretty much anything. He let me do it, but, if I'm not making that, then he'll say something to me. I'm not exempt.
What's a bad shot for you then? Or a bad shot, I'm sorry, what's a good shot for you then?
Me coming off the screen roll, and me hitting slam off the pick and roll, and he shoot it. That's a good shot.
Getting the teammates involved?
Yeah.
It seems like the Giants, at least early on in the season, the game seemed to have slow starts scoring-wise, at least from the Giants. And then you guys would go into halftime, you'd come out, and you'd make up for a 15-point deficit, come back with the game. What is Coach Williams saying to you guys that gets you that pumped, that turned around, or at least early on in the season? Now that doesn't seem to be an issue. But how does that turnaround happen?
We're just making the proper adjustments. If they making threes, we're going to run them off the line. It's simple. Basketball is simple. If they killing us in the paint, we got to go down and help rebound. Just making the proper adjustments. And him yelling and screaming is 2% of it. 98%
You think so?
of it is just making the adjustments.
I just envisioned him being a really Coach Williams just being somebody who gave really motivational speeches.
His speeches is nice, but if you got a speech with no plan,
it don't matter.
Then it don't matter. I can tell you I got $1 million all day.
So as a point guard, how important is it to you that the Giants get more shots than the opponent?
It's very important because just like boxing, you want to hit him more than he hit you. You want to try to knock him out more than he try to knock you out. So the more attempts we get, the more dangerous we are. Like, we're a very lethal team. And if you give us 20 shots to your 10, if we make 17 and you make 5, then it's over. So that's very important. We try to limit the other team to, we try to keep them at 80 points per contest. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't.
80 points or 80 shots?
80 points. So
that's going to increase the pace of play,
right,
for analytical nerds out there with basketball.
Right.
An increased pace isn't always a good thing. Look at the Kings last year. Look at the Phoenix Suns this year. Doesn't always lead to a winning product. As the point guard, how do you balance that pace at the same time as making sure that you guys are getting more, but also quality looks on the offensive end?
How do I balance the pace? It just depends on how the game goes. Like, the game is different every night. Like, we try to make it our pace every night, but sometimes we got to be like, stop. Okay, we got to run this. Or this is working. Okay, we got to get it in the tuck. Tuck is grinding the paint right now, so we got to slow it down, get it into him. If we got a fast break, then we out. But if we don't, we got to stop and be patient and play basketball the right way. Not saying fast pace is the incorrect way, but when they get down to it, we got to figure out what pace we want to run. And if that's grinding to tuck, let's get it to tuck. If we want Bernard to get up and down, then that's the game. So it depends on what team we playing and what style of play they playing, and we try to adjust to it.
Talk to me about how you find a way to be effective off the ball on the offensive end. Obviously you're a ball-dominant guard, and you should be. You're the point guard of the team. But how do you find a way to be effective in offensive sets without having the ball in your hand?
Playing with guys like Ed and Tony Hooper and Keith and Bernard. You're gonna have to play off the ball at some point of the game because all us point guards. So I may be the lead guard, and I understand that, but how I adjust is, going in that gym and practicing spot shooting. practicing small drills like the dribble handoff, late in the shot clock, shots like that, And that's how you be effective. That's how you stay on the floor because you can do it all. If Ed penetrate and kick it to me, I'm going to knock it down. If he penetrate, kick it to me and it's not there, I can set it back up, we get another play. So just being effective in all aspects, really puts me above, a lot, so that's how you stay on the floor. That's how you do it, being able to play, just plain and simple.
If you dribble before you shoot, can you still make babies?
If you dribble before you shoot, can you make babies? I don't know how to answer that.
If you dribble before you aren't a catch and shoot guy.
Right.
You don't have to be, right?
I don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to. These games been really exciting though, man. CW is doing a good job. It's one of our 10-10. You got 10-10, and you got CW. I love CW, watching it on TV. People not being able to make it to the game, they watch us on TV. So
official station of the Jacksonville Giants.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, just a couple more things, Maurice. There's a lot of debate within the basketball chambers, analytical chambers, about point guard defense, about the importance of point guard defense. You're running around screens the whole time. How good of a defender does a point guard really have to be? And I'm just wondering your opinion from an analytical approach about the importance of point guard defense.
Oh man, if you can't play, if you don't figure out how to play ball screens, understand when it's one-on-one, understand when your man is just a decoy in that play, like you're not gonna make it, your team not gonna make it. And that's why you're the brains of it. Like, if you take away the other team's point guard, they're gonna be rattled. Plays not getting called, they're taking bad shots. So the importance of defense, to me, is key. Like, you can't win without it. If I know I can't guard somebody and I don't tell my teammates, so I don't tell coach, like, that's being selfish. So if I want to be all macho and be like, I got him, instead of us going 2-3 because I can't guard him or nobody can guard him, then that's selfish. So it's definitely, it starts with me. Like, everything on that court, when it comes to the Giants, it starts with me. Like, defense, running these plays, making sure everybody happy, like, it starts with me. And if I don't tell coach, like, I can't guard this guy or he can't guard him, like, we're in trouble. And I think, like, me, that's being selfish because, I'm being prideful and not letting my teammates or my coach know that, I can't guard him. So it's very important. You got to know how to guard ball screens, knowing he a decoy, knowing he can't do this and that. Like, it's very important. You get killed out there.
So what makes somebody hard to guard?
When he a triple threat. He can shoot, pass, defend. Like, that's tough. Like, a lot of GMV guys, they had a couple guys like that. It was real good, real talented guys. A lot of guys that we didn't see last year that was on their bench that developed into that. So it's kind of a surprise. It was a surprise this year playing against them.
Well, it won't be
this
next game, though.
Yeah, we'll be ready, definitely.
I am convinced that after, with everyone coming together with the additions of the new players, that there's Jacksonville Giants. You guys are not losing another game.
No, we're ready
All season. I guarantee it. Perimeter defense. You and I kind of discussed this once before. It's hard to quantify, right? It's because if you're talking from a measurable statistical standpoint, you can measure interior defense by the percentage of that a player's allowing the opponent to shoot within a certain distance of the rim.
Mm-hmm.
Perimeter defense is a bit harder than that, right? Because you have the school of thought that you want to run them off the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
Another school of thought, depending on the opponent, is you want to lower the percentage. As somebody that heads the perimeter defense, how do you quantify, or what do you consider good defense when it comes to guarding the 3-point line?
First of all, if he play the point guard, he can shoot the three very well. We just take it away completely. So which means I push up. And Tyler, when he cross half court, I push up. I force him to the rim. It's no way like Coach Williams, he tell us, if we know the assignment and you go out there and you still play behind the 3-point line, like, he gonna kill you. So stopping guys on the perimeter, like, you have to push up. You got to push up defensively and send them to the rim. And keep sending them to the rim. That's the assignment. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't give them no open looks. And then when he finally get open look, he may make it, he may not. He out of rhythm. He going to the rim. He doing something that he not used to doing. So just taking it away, period, is the key. They probably get him in transition, but when you get in half court, like, you take it away. Completely take it away.
So you got to trust your teammates then, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're pressing,
yeah,
makes it easier to beat you off the dribble.
Right. And it's not necessarily pressing. It's just ball pressure and just making them go where you want him to go. Mm-hmm. You dictate what you want them to do. Like, understand, like, he's gonna help you. Jermaine gonna help me. Elijah gonna block it. You just drop down to his man and you help him. And we like this now. At first we was like just 10 guys, and now we like this. And that's how we got a ring.
Well, the road games help too this season, don't they? I would assume from a
yes,
bonding experience. And
yes. I love going on the road, experiencing guys, getting to know guys, because you can never get these moments back. A lot of my teammates from last year are gone, and we got a whole new bunch, and I can't say, they're going to be here forever. So you can't get these moments back. So you might as well get to know each other and just cherish these moments, because you don't get them back. And me building that camaraderie and brother to brother friendship, like, it's fun. It's fun. And they saying that they want to get to this goal of winning the championship is even better, because those young guys, like, usually sometimes they just want to get their stats and look good for the fans, and not with them. It's all about winning, so that's one of the fun parts,
So you've been with the Giants for 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
You might not be around forever. Goals, hopes, aspirations, one day after the Giants, anything on the horizon? Some of the players during the off season, they play overseas. How about yourself?
Overseas is fun. Probably one of my goals. My goal in the off season is to go get my son and spend as much time as I can.
Memphis, right?
Yes, sir. I spent a lot of time from him. I didn't expect to spend this much time from him. I left him at 2 years old, and then he's season 4. He's 6 now. Mm-hmm. So it's been back and forth for 4 years. So this summer, it'll be all about him. Like, I'm gonna win another championship, and we're going to hang with him, or he come here and hang with me. That's what it's about. So,
you teach him how to shoot?
Yeah, he's skateboarding right now. He's not shooting.
No. You gotta. I saw a video the other day on YouTube where a father set out. He had one of those Fisher-Price basketball hoops or whatever, and he set out this little 3-point line in his house for his kid. I just thought, oh man, that's a great way to be. Is your son gonna grow up to play ball though? It's gonna be like his dad?
I don't know. I showed him a video on YouTube. He was like, "My dad is a superstar."
Right?
Yeah, but
He'll appreciate that later in life.
Yeah,
He's a bit too young now, but one day they'll impress him.
I think he gonna turn that. I think he gonna turn that corner and play basketball, but I ain't gonna force it. He's skateboarding right now and playing his video game and going to school, so I ain't gonna force it.
NBA 2K or NBA Jam? I'm asking for you though.
Jam.
Jam? NBA Jam?
Yeah.
All right. Who? So who's I'm assuming it's because you're from Memphis. You're a Grizzlies fan.
Definitely. I like the Lakers too. Originally.
Not this year.
Definitely this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you watch in the Lakers?
Russell. You got Brandon Ingram. Julius. Tariq Black actually from Memphis. So
He's good.
yeah. Yeah, I like him. Nick Young. I like Swagger P. All of them. We just young, man. You got to stick with him. I mean, I was with him when Kobe was there, so you got a lot of Lakers.
Jordan Clarkson versus D'Angelo Russell. Who's a better player?
Clarkson.
You think so too?
Yeah.
All right. Debate settled. Anybody
Clarkson
watching that?
is D'Angelo King, man.
I have a lot of arguments with people about that one.
I don't like Russell that much.
Russell's fine, but Jordan Clarkson, man, that kid can ball.
Yeah, Clarkson is nice.
So we're going into this Saturday's game, Columbus Blackhawks, Jacksonville's Veteran Memorial Arena. Keys to the game. What's it looking like on your end? What are you prepping for?
Just stick to the plan that we got. Just prepare this week, for them. They like to shoot a lot of threes and like to get up and down. So, just take things away and work on ourselves. That's what we can do. That's all we can do. Try not to let them come in here and steal one, So that's my focus. Not to lose again and get back to my goal.
Last question before we get out of here. Year after year, you've improved your play with the Giants. What do you think that you've improved the most with your career here?
The most? The level of focus I bring. Usually, like on the bus and, outside of practice, like I'd be joking around and playing around. But as I've, grown, I don't do that no more. Try to lead. And that's why I've improved most is my level of focus and my attention to detail off the court. Weight room, pool, just staying in shape, That's why I improved that. Like my skill level was always, good, but it was the other stuff that I wasn't doing that was holding me back, from being what I am. So it's my level of focus and attention to detail when it comes to weight room and what I need to do and what I don't need to do, So what you guys think?
Finals MVP, ABA All-Star point guard,
Yeah.
Maurice Mickens. If you have not seen Reese, this Saturday, Veterans Memorial Arena, as the Jacksonville Giants take on the Columbus Blackhawks. Obviously, basketball is better in person. If you can't make it, you can always watch CW17, the official partner of the Jacksonville Giants. Any last words? Anything we didn't get to?
Just appreciate y'all coming out, man. Always supporting us, especially the kids that always get tickets. I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys. Books for Baskets is one of my favorite things to do. And when I see you guys at the game and I sign autographs, it really touched me. So just keep coming out and supporting us. Even though we don't come to your school, just come out and support us. I appreciate y'all.
All right. Until Saturday.